What's up guys, New School Cool here, going to be doing a video in advance of the new season and the pre-season and all the changes that are going to come to the jungle and the Assassin's rework. Now unfortunately I'm not on the beta, so I can't show you everything the way that I wanted to, but I still want to get this video out there. If you can, put a bug into Riot's ear and let them know that I want to be on that beta. Alright, so I'm going to be walking you through the different areas where I think it's intelligent to ward with the new assassins. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because the first thing I thought of when looking at the assassins updates as someone who plays primarily support and jungle is that the new assassins have a lot of ways of not going through brush or not going through your typical entrances to the jungle in order to provide alternate ganking paths. Now, some of the more popular ones, obviously, you're going to want to ward tri-bush, but where you place the ward is going to be extremely important. So I like to put pink wards in tri-bushes, and I like to put them right on the edge right here. So if I place it here and I leave the bush and go over here per se, let's look at the vision that that's got covered. Now this has both directions here covered, and it's a pink ward, so it will reveal stealth champions. That makes it's a pretty basic ward in order to protect yourself. One of the other areas that I've started seeing used as a really popular gank path is ganking through Krugs. So you'll have, and obviously Talon will be able to jump that. You've got Rengar who can ward and then jump from this bush. You've got Kha'Zix who can jump over it. There are plenty of the new assassins. Zed obviously can go through it. So how do you prevent and still put down good vision? Because if you put a ward here, put a ward like here, yeah, it's going to protect you from that area right there, but you don't really get any beneficial vision. So I would recommend a ward here, right on the edge of the bush, and then you can see if someone's going to come down there, even for a split second. So here, let's duck out of that vision radius and take a look at where that ward is. So you have vision of all along this area, and see now you've got all but this little tiny strip here. So that means this entire wall you have vision of, so Talon can't jump down. You've got vision going back this way if they're going to go for a roundabout gank, and you've got vision towards the back of the dragon pit. So if for any reason someone's coming around this way, coming in to jump over dragon wall, you've got all sorts of vision laid down there. Those two wards in conjunction with each other are going to cover a lot of map vision. Alright, now we're going to flip to what we want in the river. I'm just gonna ward hop this. That's right, bronzes can ward hop too. So scuttle crab, obviously that's super important for gaining vision. I like having wards here while I'm in lane as a support. Obviously I like a ward here because a lot of people walk through here. But if you drop down, you can drop down a ward in dragon pit like I did there. You can use scuttle crab vision. One of the things that's important too is they're going to be removing wolf vision. So obviously that camp's not going to give you that buff anymore. So you're not going to be able to do a ton. So again, an area you're going to want to cover, the entrance to the jungle. A lot of people think, oh, I'll put it in the bush here. That's not a bad place for the mid laner to come and ward, is right here. And that way they've got this entire coverage of the entrance, and then in tandem with the bot side ward and the two bot side wards there, then it's going to end up covering a lot more area. It's going to cover the entrances into the jungle on the bottom side and get that covered. Now I'm going to back real quick and grab some more wards and talk about top side coverage, and then I'm obviously going to I'm doing blue side now, so I'm going to do red side next. Alright, give me them pink wards. Alright, so now we're going to do top side. Same basic concept of top side, but reversed. So again, you're going to want to cover the entrances into the jungle. So your entrances into the jungle are going to be right here and right here, and obviously they can sneak in this way too. But if you look at how much wall space there is here, it's really easy to get into the jungle. So you can obviously place a ward here, or use scuttle crab to control the vision there. Mid laner, I would prefer to see mid lane throw some wards down. even if it's here, up towards here, you get good vision, good priority of the river area there. So let's look at that vision coverage. So you've got most of this wall covered. I mean, you miss them when they go into the the little bush here, but you've got all of this covered. You see if they're going to walk in your jungle. And again, normally you would have this wolf camp to alert you, but with that gone, there's going to be much more priority on every lane putting wards down, because otherwise you're going to end up having absolutely no luck. Same thing with this one. You can just put a standard ward here, or again use the scuttle crab. Top lane can take care of this bush as a typical gank path. If you want to get aggressive and try and get some wards into their area, right here, and I'll show you why in just a second. Let me get out of the way. So it's going to cover the wall if they're hopping over this way, or it's not going to get that Krug's pit, so they could always hop Krug's pit and then come up from behind and assist there. But this is a pretty safe ward to place without having to worry too much about things. Alright, now we're going to do flip side jungle. So, if we are, this is going to be fun because I'm going to take turret shots like a motherfucker. Alright, obviously with these bushes, you're going to want vision here, because as a mid laner, I would always put a ward here, because if assassin's going to come up from behind, usually you're playing the assassin against the assassin in the mid lane, but if it's, again, Rengar, Kha'Zix, a really good ganking pattern is right through here. Your jungle, or you should ward that bush. Again, for top lane, you're going to want to worry about the entrance to Krug's pit. And just as I put a ward in that tri-bush area, that's honestly same idea. I put one right here if you're the top laner. Gives you good vision of this wall area and any roams. You can always put one in the back of the Baron pit. That's a pretty common path, so you can throw one right here. It's usually a good place for a pink ward. You get good vision of that area. You cover one of the entrances to the jungle, and you cover the back pathing route here, and you protect yourself when you're going for red buff if you were the jungler. Whee! I timed that pretty well with the wave crashing there. Look at that. It's like I know what I'm doing or something. Same thing. You're going to want to put a ward. I like putting a ward here. Personally, it's going to cover a lot of the river and another entryway into mid lane. For the bot side, which I have the most experience with, one of the big things is putting a pink ward right here. Now, I'm going to put myself here as a ward for reference, but what this will do is this will cover this area, it'll cover this area, and I've seen a lot of Talons use this as a ganking path, flipping over the wall to go into this bush here and then ganking. So here allows you to have a very, very good coverage area, and you shouldn't have to worry too much about the ganks. And you'll also be able to see, you know, if they're setting up for a dive on your tower, which avoiding with your ADC is a huge deal. So yeah, normally that's where I would ward. Covering those entrances is really what's important, and making sure you get optimal vision by ward placement. So because of where the bushes are, you can get optimal placement, and that will show you most of the wall. And because of all the changes that are going on with, again, I referenced Talon specifically because that's the one that I've watched the most, because I think that's the most interesting adaptation. You're going to want to take care of that. And you're also going to want to be wary of, you know, typical Rengar and Kha'Zix. Their ganking path shouldn't change too much. Katarina shouldn't change too much. Remember, you can always ward over walls and then hop to them. Hey, look at that. I landed a Q. That one was about to miss, and I was a little worried for a second. But yeah, with the amount of speed that jungles are, like Lee Sin, for example, has, a lot of the junglers have really unique ways to walk through lane, and now with a lot of the assassins, they're going to have speed and extra ways to move around the environment. I think that that's something you should definitely keep an eye on moving forward, especially with the removal of Wolf Spirit, especially with the lack of priority on vision. I anticipate more junglers who use either the Tracker's Knife or go tanky junglers like a Rek'Sai with Sightstone, and upgrading the Sightstone so that you can get the maximum number of vision. Yes, there are going to be those plants that grant vision, but that's not permanent. It's more like an Ash Hawk shot. So it's useful, don't get me wrong, but but it's not permanent vision that you leave on the map, or even semi-permanent vision that you can put an area for a short period of time and have complete vision of that. So yeah, hopefully this gave you some idea of some new areas to be considering during the preseason, and hopefully that gets you geared up and ready to go for season, what are we on, 7 now? It'll be season 7, so that's pretty exciting. I'm excited about it. Maybe this time I'll get out of bronze. I doubt it. But I'm Professor New School Cool. This has been How to Bronze, How to Ward in the new Assassin meta. Alright, thanks guys. Catch you next time.